Cup. So, it was, to me, it was the ultimate challenge. It was what I was playing one-day cricket for. I'd played probably 300 matches before that. And you need sometimes that moment where you've got to lift in a pressure situation against the best team at the most crucial time. So for me, it was like playing a test match. So I dug in, got the 100 there, and it was the match that really gave us momentum to go on and tie the semi-final and then to go on and win the World Cup. But, it's one of the, I guess I played a lot of one-day games, but it's one of the matches that's very vivid in my memory.
100 and less than run a ball, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, back in those days, that was pretty quick. These days, it was probably a slow innings. The game has changed a lot, but today we're really watching a one-day game that was similar to the way we played back in 1987. Same sort of pace, but the game has obviously moved on since then. So, as you say, New Zealand are a fair way behind the run rate at this stage.
That's what New Zealand needs indeed. Williamson and Taylor, 100 and less than run a ball.
And you can tell us one final time the story about the dropped catch, Steve.
No, we'll give Herschel a rest. I mean, it's been 20 years. I feel sorry for him now. Like, he's copped enough, and he was a great fieldsman and a very good player. And I think it's probably time to sort of let him have a breather. But it was a crucial drop catch, and I probably did say one or two things to him, but it was all in good fun.
Well, there are moments in history that you cannot forget. This was one of those. Lance Klusener, Steve Waugh, one of the best fielders in the world.
Yeah, look, it was amazing when I look back on it. And to his credit, he actually said he dropped it because Andy Cronje kept going to the umpire and said, no, he's taken the catch, and Herschel said, no, I've dropped it. So for him, it was just one of those moments we lost concentration. Such an easy catch. He already caught it and was about to throw it up, and as you say, he looked away and dropped it, and that was the moment where I thought, hang on, I've got to seize this opportunity and make the most of it, because that is a rarity for that guy to drop a catch so easy.
And you did not tell him he's dropped the World Cup, but you did say something.
Oh, look, it was something, I can't remember, it was 20 years ago, Harsh. It was something along those lines.
Time heals everything, isn't it? With time, you cool down a bit.
Look at the two of you chatting like you've been...
Time heals everything, isn't it? Tremendous respect for... As you can see, you got to relax. You got to keep calm and have a look at this. Nice memories.
The moment for me was the slog sweep of Steve Already.
Yeah, that was it, and it, that's when they're good in those days. That one really came off the middle, and but yeah, it was a gamble. I mean, as I think Simon was mentioning before, you've got to sometimes take a gamble in these big matches, and for me, Elworthy came on, I thought this is probably not their strongest bowler, I've really got to attack him here. And I made my mind up to play that slog sweep before the ball was bowled, and sometimes you've got to do that.
89 for 2, 4 came over that over.
एक मैच देखने के लिए इतनी दूर वर्ल्ड कप साथ देखो सा जल्दी आ जाता है बुढ़ा हो गया ना बुढ़ा तू
आपकी सेंचुरी पक्की है
ओह 6
ऊपर रिक्वेस्ट करो स्कोर बनाओ और इंग्लैंड जाओ
घबराना नहीं है इस बजट में हम बात कर रहे हैं साल की सबसे बड़ी स्कीम नेस्ले फ्रूट के 2 खाली पैक्स किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुफ्त ऑफर बच्चों मुस्टैशियो ने मुझे भी ट्रैप कर लिया है और मुझे चाहिए तुम्हारी हेल्प तो वेबसाइट पर रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो प्रिंस आउट
ले आए एक्सप्रेस पावर महंगे पाउडर के मुकाबले पूरे 100 रुपए का और सफाई में तो फिर ज्यादा पैसे क्यों दे एक्सप्रेस पावर महंगे पाउडर वाली धुलाई 100 रुपए की बचत के साथ
So he was one of the unsung heroes of that campaign, and every team who wins the World Cup will have one or two players that provide that sort of role. They're not the big name players, but they do the little things that add up to it being a successful campaign.
Harbhajan, Sachin, everybody's here. You call that the no regrets tour, didn't you?
Yeah, as a captain, I tried to have some sort of motto for the tour, and there was no regrets. Every sacrifice we make is a down payment on the acquisition of the World Cup. That was the tagline underneath it. So basically, whatever you do, had to have the winning the World Cup as a priority. And it was only a 6-week campaign, so just give everything you have to it, because you never know, you may never get another chance to win a World Cup.
Well, New Zealand need to seize something here. They've got to have a chance of winning the World Cup.
Yeah, inexplicable batting, as they say. Yeah, they need a lot more of that. There are open fields in that part of the ground, and that will bring up a boundary to Kane Williamson. And more importantly, get that scoreboard moving. He wouldn't mind that shot, but neither would New Zealand. A little bit of pressure put back on the bowler. The first boundary since the 14th over, a slog sweep. And they need many, many more.
So I call it something else. A slog sweep is what we just remembered talking to Steve Waugh about. But he took his chance.
Yeah, New Zealand need more of that. And as I say, Ross Taylor's really got to step up the run right now. 11 off 29. It's not good enough in this phase of the game. So Williamson can't do it all himself. He needs other support around him. And this is a big partnership, but they really need to up the ante now. The momentum's got to pick up.
So 3.42, just to put that in perspective.
Also what it does, it just slows down Chahal. At the present moment, he's running through his overs. The Indian spinners do that a lot. Jadeja and Chahal, Jadeja even quicker. He takes less than 2 minutes to bowl an over, and if you keep defending, they will get through the overs very, very quickly. Yeah, good batting, boundary and a single. 6 runs from this over. It's time for Ross Taylor now.
Unless they've worked out that we'll get to 30 overs, 32 overs. There's lots you can make in the back 18. You've got Colin de Grandhomme, Neesham, you've got the big hitters.
He'll be playing against some great bowlers as well. Bumrah has been fantastic in the death overs. At some stage he'll come back for a couple when Virat Kohli needs a wicket. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar playing ahead of Shami because of his death bowling capabilities, and another boundary. Not a good delivery from Chahal. This is what happens when you put pressure. Williamson did in the couple of balls in the first over, and Ross Taylor finishes off with the boundary. Big over, 10 from it, 99 for 2.
Toho Nehari, Italian, ya badi feast. Khane ke baad Dabal green tea, please. Available in 8 flavors.
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
All new Nescafe chilled latte. It all starts with a Nescafe.
Really had to play within that semi-final in 99. Were there moments in that game when you thought it's not enough?
Oh, plenty of moments. But I think one thing both sides were really struggling with was the mental fatigue. We'd only played each other a couple of days before that, and it was such a draining match at Headingley that both sides made a lot of mistakes in the semi-final, and we had opportunities to win the game. We dropped catches, we missed run-outs. And when a lot of people say that South Africa choked, it was really both sides were choking. They just happened to choke at the wrong time. And that was just a complete lack of communication. There's still 3 balls left after that. And the key to that was we'd done 10-pin bowling 2 days before that. In the team was the Nerds versus the Julios, and Damien Fleming, I think, probably won 10-pin bowling for the Nerds, and there he was in that crucial moment, delivering one straight down for the strike.
Wasn't there a run-out attempt at the previous ball too?
The previous over, I think Darren Lehman missed one from very close to the stumps, and that was the moment where I thought, as a captain, geez, we've missed our last opportunity. And the way Klusener batted that whole tournament, he never mishit a ball. And, he hit 2 fours in the first couple of balls of Damien Fleming. But before that last ball, I went up to Damien Fleming, we had a bit of a chat, and he said, what do you reckon I should bowl? And I said, well, just try for a Yorker, just try your best to get a Yorker in there. And again, it was a little bit lucky because it wasn't a straight Yorker, it was a wide Yorker, and for some reason, Klusener mishit the first ball of the tournament.
You had Mark Ward mid-off. Was there a reason for it?
Look, at that stage, I wasn't really aware of what was going on. I was sort of in panic mode as a captain.
No, that's not true. That's not true, Steve.
Not quite true, but I was hoping for the best, really. I mean, in that situation, you better feel straight, because Klusener was obviously threw mid off and cover was so strong. But you have to feel a little bit sorry for South Africa, although communication was a big problem there, because they had 4 balls left. Surely the Klusener could have played 3 balls, and then if they wanted to the last ball, they could have run off anything, but they really didn't need to run on that occasion.
So for viewers listening to this and watching this, we complicate things on cricket, on television, have the right fielders in the right area. So the best in the world at times under pressure don't have a clue what to do.
Just leave it down the luck, yeah.
Yes, just leave it down the luck.
Well, it was a great moment. What it's meant, though, is we might have lost the odd viewer in South Africa over the last couple of minutes.
Sorry about that, yeah. Yeah, look, you do feel sorry a bit for Donald and Klusener. They had both fantastic campaigns, and I guess a lot of people blame them for that last ball, but under pressure you do certain things, and sometimes you panic, and that's what they did.
He's taking the pace off, so they'll keep it down to 2.
And that was going for a boundary, isn't it? That's how good India has been on the field. Virat Kohli had covers that time. Very nicely timed by Williamson. That's another big man, Sachin Tendulkar, winner of the 2011 World Cup. got an 80 in the semi-final against Pakistan in Mohali in India. What a World Cup he's had.
Also got a couple of hundreds, as you did as well. You got 100 in that 99 World Cup that Australia eventually won and started process. They won 99-3-7. It was wonderful having you over, Steve.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here. It's great to be back a part of the World Cup and watching the semi-final. So I look forward to the next week.
And of course, Saurav Ganguly alongside him, just to bring memories back of contests of days gone by.
Yeah, we had some great battles, and as I've said before, I've got a lot of respect. He really changed the way India play their cricket. Very positive, aggressive, giving something back to the opposition. So it was very combative, and I always enjoyed playing against India.
104 for 2, and thank you, Steve Waugh. It was terrific to hear you. New Zealand recovering, but not enough.
Save with Bank Alpha किफायत savings account 11% तक का बेहतरीन रिटर्न ऑन सेविंग्स हर माह मुनाफा डेबिट कार्ड चेकबुक अल्फा और ऑबिट्स इसके अलावा ढेरों फायदे बैंक अल्फा किफायत सेविंग्स अकाउंट बैंक अल्फा द वे फॉरवर्ड
Tropicana, goodness of best fruits, now in Pakistan.
बच्चों, मुस्टैशियो ने मुझे भी ट्रैप कर लिया है और मुझे चाहिए तुम्हारी हेल्प। तुम वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो। प्रिंस आउट।
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसे तो फिक्र कैसे।
Homage DC इन्वर्टर AC, वे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा।
Homage, contribute to good living.
ऊबर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ और आईसीसी क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप इंग्लैंड में जाने का मौका पाओ।
A strange partnership this now. We've got 8 wickets in hand. It's taken its time. They've added 36 of 66 balls. Ross Taylor, 16 of 32, and just a little while earlier, we had a look at the number of dot balls so far in this innings, and at that stage, you're looking at almost 17 overs of dot ball. Have a look at that. It's continuously climbing the number of dot balls, and that's been the problem in this partnership. It's just been a bit too slow for New Zealand. There's nothing to suggest that this is going to be a low-scoring pitch. So if they've decided in their mind that their target is going to be 230, 240, I'm not sure that's the right assessment. Jalib's bowled a few wides, which is unlike him. This could be his 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, for these two, it's about that rotation of strike. Ross Taylor just in the last over against Chahal got him away for a couple of boundaries. Just signalling a little bit more intent. Generally likes to sweep the spinners. Captain Cool on 49. 39th one-day international 50 for the New Zealand captain, Kane Williamson, leading the charge in this semi-final. His runs are absolutely crucial. He knows it. He has to go on.
You see the runs the batsmen have scored in this tournament. This is the beauty of World Cups, where truly class players come to the fore. Top run getters are acclaimed, established batting talents from around the world. Kane Williamson there right at the top. Yeah, but interesting with Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson just trying to get inside their head. Maybe both believe that they're the pillars of this New Zealand batting team and allowing themselves a bit of time. Ross Taylor may be thinking, I'm out of form, but still one of the most senior established batsmen in the side. There comes the sweep, and finally he gets the gap as well, gets the 4. That should get him going. That's his second in 35 balls faced.
Well, it's a line that allows him to do this. Again, just straying onto that leg stump. Gets the power through the shot. Ross Taylor. And there's no one backward of square. He's just moved him slightly more backward behind the umpire. Chopped up ball to finish, but a good over for New Zealand. 8 runs coming from it, 113 for 2.
ले आए एक्सप्रेस पावर, महंगे पाउडर के मुकाबले पूरे 100 रुपए कम और सफाई में तो फिर ज्यादा पैसे क्यों दें? एक्सप्रेस पावर महंगे पाउडर वाली धुलाई 100 रुपए की बचत के साथ। मैक्स फ्रेश सनसनाते कूलिंग प्रोसेस के साथ ताजगी का धमाका। खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी के देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
Recent times for New Zealand. Top edge, will it fall safely? It does, and it goes for 4.
The whole idea of getting Hardik Pandya to bowl at this stage is because of the injury that he sustained. He's off the field and quickly back on the field with some kind of rehabilitation. But they're trying to just bowl his overs off. Because later on it's just going to get tougher on a bowl, and they've just got 5 bowling options. So that's why Pandya is bowling. Right shot selection. And even if you miscue it, generally that is what happens. I can understand what's happening here with Ross Taylor now. He knows that he's out of form, and perhaps he's giving himself a little more time, thinking that he's one of the 2 main pillars of New Zealand batting. Plus the fact, Isha, that this is World Cup, and this is World Cup semi-final. 7-match series would have gone after the bowling much earlier in the innings, not worrying about getting out. This is what the Cricket World Cup does, and at the knockouts even more so.
Again a miscue, but again it will fall safely. The 50 partnership now for these 2.
Now this has been the ball for Hardik Pandya to survive so far in the World Cup. He's used the short, slow delivery on drier pitches today. The ball is working even on the surface that hasn't looked dry. There have been occasions when the ball has turned and he can get that loopy short delivery going again on this pitch.
He's bowled a real mixture, has Hardik Pandya, but importantly to Taylor, he's kept things relatively tight. The odd short ball to both Taylor and Williamson. And India will be delighted that he returned to the field, especially with that injury to his right hip flexor. It means that he can get through his overs, as you mentioned, Sanjay. They'll be even happier if he can break a partnership, but just rolling his fingers on that one.
Just watching that last ball arrive at Kane Williamson, I just wonder whether the 2 batsmen out there have assessed the pitch. They're thinking, batting first, this pitch is very slow. There you go. Struggling with the pace. It's taken off the pace for sure. And whether they're setting themselves a low target, not aiming for a 300, maybe 278 runs per over after this will get them there.
Punished through the covers, but there is protection out there, so just a single from the final ball, 120 for 2.
मैं हूँ मुफ्ता मैन और मेरी सुपर पावर है मुफ्ते मारना।
मुफ्ता तो मैंने भी मार लिया।
कैसे?
मुझे भी तो बताओ।
नेस्ले नेस्फ्रूटा के 2 खाली बैग्स किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुफ्ता पाया। बच्चों, मुस्टैशियो ने मुझे भी ट्रैप कर लिया है और मुझे चाहिए तुम्हारी हेल्प। तो वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो। प्रिंस आउट।
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसे, तो फिक्र कैसे?
डेवू की 100% मेंटेनेंस फ्री बैटरी, ना देखभाल की जरूरत, ना ही कोई फिक्र। डेवू बैटरी।
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
Use him at the end. Jadeja's nearly through his 10. Nearly got through Pandya's 10 overs as well. And it will be Jasprit Bumrah to come on from the Brian Statham end. So recognising that he needs a partnership breaker, he's gone to his main strike bowler, Virat Kohli. Jasprit Bumrah back into the attack. Thoughts on this move, Sanjay?
Yeah, clearly they want to break this partnership. There'll be few thinking why. With the strike rate of this partnership is very low. They're just playing into the hands of the Indian team. But this is what Virat does with Bumrah normally. 4 over spell, then you'll see him bowl maybe 3 in this spell, hopefully get a wicket. And then 3 overs in the death. Yeah, it's Bumrah now, not Bum Afridi anymore.
Well, he's been great for Virat Kohli in India right throughout the innings. He can come on at the top, in the middle and at death. He generally keeps the economy down and is a real wicket taker. Wickets to fall for New Zealand. Martin Guptill's been in full form. Good catch from Virat Kohli. Came quickly to him. And through the gate for Henry Nicholls.
Yeah, that was that 15-minute spell where we saw the pitch suddenly turning. But Chahal got a couple of balls to really turn off the angle. Leg cutter from Bumrah may have just about carried or may have bounced just a couple of inches in front of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He's taken the pace off again. It's a leg cutter, so it wasn't flying off the pitch. Yeah, there you go. Pace taken off. Just about carries. We'll have a look at it again.
It's almost as if he just needs to stretch forwards here, MS Dhoni. A bit of pace off the ball, doesn't judge that pace.
Champion bowler that he has almost created. A wicket-taking opportunity, created a wicket-taking opportunity. Did the ball carry? Could that be called as a drop chance from Mahendra Singh Dhoni? Let's have a look. Yeah, just about. I think that's a low, sharp chance. Miss. It was just about carrying to Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He had to dive forward.
Playing in his 350th game for India. Tactically, you're looking at this game, if New Zealand can get through this period of Bumrah coming back into the attack, it means less overs at the end of the innings, and if they don't pick up a wicket, these two have gone on and laying the platform for the big hitters to come in.
I'm also going to address a very important change that happened with the Indian team and their tactics and plans the next over, as Bumrah runs in for the final ball of this over.
Not given, and no reviews for India. 121 for 2.
सबके यूपीएस बैठ गए, इनका यूपीएस अभी तक चल रहा है।
यही तो फर्क है ट्रक वाली बैटरी और खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करना डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी में ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
All new Nescafe Chill Latte. It all starts with a Nescafe.
Homage DC इन्वर्टर AC दे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा। Homage attribute to good living. अमरेली स्टील्स के सरिये की लचक इमारत को देती है जलजले सहने की सलाहियत।
Jadeja, just a couple of overs left. He's already picked up one wicket, the one of Henry Nicholls. Let's get through them. What have you made of the pace of the way he's bowled?
He's got the ball to turn even with this speed, so he's going fine. Would not have expected this kind of turn and bounce. Just quickly on how India, changed the principle of winning, something that they have relied on for the last 2 years, which is about taking wickets in the middle through Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal. One match changed that principle, that pattern, and that match was England. When they got over 300 runs and England went after Kuldeep and Chahal, India lost the game. After that, they've been concerned about their batting because they couldn't chase the score down. So Jadeja has come into the scheme of things as somebody who can do a bit of this, fielding, batting, and bowl in this fashion on pitches that are helpful. But they've gone away from their two main game changers in the middle overs. That's Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal, who have a fantastic record against New Zealand especially. So far, just the one wicket from the spinners in the middle stages so far.
Thick edge. He goes wide a slip. Yeah, I think that was a significant moment for both teams, really. England up against it. They needed a win at Edgbaston. And Jason Roy came back into the side, got after Kuldeep Yadav, which we hadn't seen at all in this tournament. There was a moment in that Pakistan game where Babar Azam, I think, got after Yadav. Kohli kept him in the attack. He ended up picking a wicket. That's 122 for 2 after 33. Also time for drinks.
This drinks break is brought to you by OLX. Sell it, search it, buy it.
हाँ बस पहुंच रहा हूँ।
चाय नहीं पियोगे?
हमें मीटिंग है, लेट हो जाऊंगा।
कपाल दानेदार, दे बेहतरीन रंग, खुशबू और जायका।
तुम्हारी मीटिंग?
लेकिन ये मीटिंग भी तो जरूरी है। तो फिर चलती रहे, तुम, मैं और एक कप चाय। कपाल दानेदार।
बचपन नॉनस्टॉप बचपन। रुको, उफ, ये जरासीम, बीमार हो जाओगे। बहू, रोकती क्यों नहीं? इन्हें रोकने टोकने से रुक जाता है सीखना सिखाना। इसीलिए हम जर्म्स को रोकते हैं।
जर्म्स को रोके सेफगार्ड से, क्योंकि सिर्फ सेफगार्ड फाइट करे जर्म्स से घंटों तक नॉन स्टॉप।
बचपन नॉनस्टॉप बचपन।
Tropicana, goodness of best fruits, now in Pakistan.
यार, फॉगी क्यों? जब दूसरे पे डिस्काउंट है। सस्ता है यार।
मेरे लिए तो फॉगी बेस्ट है।
क्यों?
एक तो फॉग का परफ्यूम अच्छा है,
अच्छा।
दमदार है
और
लंबे समय तक चलता है। और क्या चाहिए? दीपिका।
देखा? बिना गैस वाला फॉग।
फॉग है तो
और क्या चाहिए?
टाइम्स अप। कंटेस्टेंट्स, क्या आप तैयार हैं अपनी डिशेस के साथ?
जब लाइफ में उड़ान भरनी हो तो बीच में कुछ नहीं आना चाहिए, हेयर फॉल भी नहीं। ट्राई पैंटीन, जिसमें है प्रो विटामिन फॉर्मूला, जो हेयर फॉल कम करे सिर्फ 14 दिनों में। बालों को अपनी तरह उड़ने दो, पैंटीन।
नो, वर्ल्ड कप का फाइनल और हमारी शादी एक दिन नहीं हो सकती। प्लीज।
ओके, I'll call पापा।
क्या पार्टनरशिप है?
6 रन।
ऊपर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ और इंग्लैंड जाओ।
बचपन नॉनस्टॉप बचपन। रुको, उफ, ये जरासीम, बीमार हो जाओगे। बहू, रोकती क्यों नहीं? इन्हें रोकने टोकने से रुक जाता है सीखना सिखाना। इसीलिए हम जर्म्स को रोकते हैं।
जर्म्स को रोके सेफगार्ड से, क्योंकि सिर्फ सेफगार्ड फाइट करे जर्म्स से घंटों तक नॉन स्टॉप।
बचपन नॉनस्टॉप बचपन।
Mughal supremacy सवाल कीजिए, घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
बच्चों, वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो। प्रिंस आउट।
खूबसूरती एक सच्चा ख्वाब, गोल्डन पर्ल।
My style, my signature. Crown Extreme Series.
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
कोलगेट मैक्स फ्रेश सनसनाते कूलिंग क्रिस्टल्स के साथ ताजगी का धमाका।
We talked a little bit there, Sanjay, in the drinks break about how India might play this, maybe give Bumrah one more over and then save a few for the end.
Yeah, that is the pattern with which Virat Kohli uses Bumrah. See the batting card for New Zealand. 4-3-3 is how he goes. This is just one game earlier in the tournament when he bowled him 5 at the beginning and left 5 for the death. And he hasn't done that. After that, it's been more 4-3-3. Okay, now this is going to be interesting because drinks have been taken. This is when you get an indication about what the coach has conveyed to the team out there. I know the captain is out there, Ross Taylor, one of the more experienced batsmen. You can see the economy rate very good. Chahal, by his standards, has been slightly inaccurate, which is unusual. Generally, he's on the money. Yes, so if we see a change in the way Ross Taylor is batting, it's clearly some kind of message sent from the dressing room. And that invariably you get to see after a drinks break.
Again, the short ball causes a few problems. Haven't quite been able to get hold of it today, both Williamson and Taylor. Just wonder if there's another message coming out.
He's shaking his head. He's just lost his timing, Ross Taylor. But he's willing to back himself. I guess the team is happy to have him out there. Eventually, hopefully finding his mojo and then unleashing because the overs are running out. They've got plenty of wickets in hand.
Well, I think in general, India have bowled exceptionally well to him. They haven't given him any sort of width outside the off stump, which is right into his strengths. He loves cutting backward of point, in front of point. Also good off his legs. They bowl some good areas on around the off stump, the odd short ball.
Although you've got to say, Ross Taylor especially missed out on opportunities against, say, Jadeja was bowling quick. The ball wasn't turning much in the last spell. Hardik Pandya, slightly unfit. So slightly hard to understand tactics from New Zealand with their batting. That's a good bouncer, well controlled. Have a look at the bouncer as well, just to get the right height. So it's not called a no ball or a wide. Something's got to give.
Well, both players have safely negotiated the threat of Bumrah. 125 for 2.
Olivia Intense Premium Hair Color.
Olivia, shukriya.
ले आए एक्सप्रेस पावर, महंगे पाउडर के मुकाबले पूरे 100 रुपए कम और सफाई में तो फिर ज्यादा पैसे क्यों दें? एक्सप्रेस पावर, महंगे पाउडर वाली धुलाई 100 रुपए की बचत के साथ।
तुम कितना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक, जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसे?
Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
हाईवेज इंटरनेशनल। अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
बच्चों, वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो। प्रिंस आउट। डेवू की 100% मेंटेनेंस फ्री बैटरी, ना देखभाल की जरूरत, ना ही कोई फिक्र। डेवू बैटरी,
Good atmosphere here at Old Trafford. Goes in to out. The first real sign of intent from Williamson against Jadeja. An excellent bit of work from Rishabh Pant.
He's actually an interesting outfielder, Rishabh Pant. Got to remind viewers, he's first a wicket keeper, so this is his second job. It's not easy. He's not quick on his feet. He doesn't sprint around like lightning. But he's got this athleticism to pull off these kind of lunges and dives.
Well, first a wicketkeeper, but before that, a gymnast. Incredible agility.
And not afraid to flaunt it. Okay, so now what generally happens when you have somebody going really slow at one end, the batsman who is in form feels obliged to up the ante a little bit. You saw Kane Williamson try and do that earlier in the over. It's a good thing that he wasn't trying early, but the last thing New Zealand want is him getting out because his partner is not scoring quickly enough. I think the onus has to be on Ross Taylor, not so much Kane Williamson, who should be looking to play the entire innings. And if Ross Taylor gets out, fine. Get guys like Latham and Nisham, Grandom, because we've just got now, after this 15 overs left.
The other question is, with this platform, who do they bring in next? The slog sweep comes out, he finds the gap, there's no one out there, picks up a 4.
Well, he's waited long enough. He's waited for Ross Taylor to get some kind of batting rhythm. It's not come. So Kane Williamson decides, well, I've got to do it. Second 4 in this over, or rather, there was a 3 earlier, lofted extra cover drive, so clearly what's happening at the other end in deciding this approach of Kane Williamson.
Well, there's now a question, I think, for Virat Kohli. Does he keep Bumrah for one more over? Well bowled. I think he's in. That back foot is firmly planted in the crease.
TV umpire to director, we have a referral for a stumping. Can I check the front foot, please? Front foot coming down, thank you. That's a fair delivery. If we can go to your best side on shot, please. Foot's on the ground, then still on the ground. Okay, thank you. I've made my decision.
Himself a bit of room, Williamson. That was so close to bowling in. 35 overs gone, 133 for two.
घबराना नहीं है इस बजट में हम बात कर रहे हैं साल की सबसे बड़ी स्कीम एसकेएस उठा के 2 खाली बैग्स किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुफ्त ऑफर
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी के देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
जलजला से हिफाजत के लिए मुगल सुप्रीम इस्तेमाल कीजिए। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
100% तहफ्फुज़ की जमानत के साथ फास्ट केबल्स नजर आए।
The man to do it is Ross Taylor because he's got such a range and such power, of course, with that right side, right-handed player. When he starts bombing it over mid-wicket, there's no boundary big enough. And he's wise to get himself properly set. He's had a run without any scores. This is a big occasion. It's not a moment to do anything daft. That is crucial. Kane Williamson, done by Chahal. There's mystery, and who's to say that it isn't magic too. All wrist spinners have a bit of magic about them.
So it's been a frustrating day for Kane Williamson. He got going with his 67. This is just stuck in the surface a little bit. Turn, we've seen that from the spinners. Jadeja's got some to turn. Chahal now, and the spin twins combine. Jadeja's hands. Chahal with the spin. And Williamson gone 67, 134 for 3.
Non-stop बचपन रुको उफ ये जरासीम बीमार हो जाओगे बहू रोकते क्यों नहीं इन्हें रोकने टोकने से रुक जाता है सीखना सिखाना इसीलिए हम जर्म्स को रोकते हैं
जर्म्स को रोके सेफगार्ड से क्योंकि सिर्फ सेफगार्ड फाइट करे जर्म से घंटों तक नॉन-स्टॉप
बचपन नॉन-स्टॉप बचपन
हाँ बस पहुंच रहा हूँ
चाय नहीं पियोगे
मम्मी मीटिंग है लेट हो जाऊंगा
कपाल दानेदार बेबेहतरीन रंग खुशबू और जायका
तुम्हारी मीटिंग
लेकिन ये मीटिंग भी तो जरूरी है तो फिर चलती रहे तुम मैं और एक कप चाय कपाल दानेदार
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी
मोबाइल सुप्रीम इस्तेमाल कीजिए घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं घर महफूज होता है
ओमिज डीसी इन्वर्टर एसी वे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा ओमिज attribute to good living
Just for men for hair and beard buy अब the natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में
iBase International
जलजला से हिफाजत के लिए मोबाइल सुप्रीम इस्तेमाल कीजिए घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं घर महफूज होता है
Leg slip, spin and bounce out there. That extra bounce is the difference. Especially if you're looking to attack the ball, which is what Nisham will do. A bit of extra bounce there. Chahal gives the ball a chance. It's up the air, wraps his fingers around it. He's the most gifted cricketer. You sort of sense all of New Zealand's heart falls when Williamson gets out. But I really think Taylor's the guy for today. Just enough bounce there. Just gets big enough and gets the splice. A long vigil has ended. To the pain of some and the pleasure of others. That little bit of magic. You get those revs on the ball. That's what Shane Warne talks about. Revs on the ball. That'll get you your dip. Your drift. Super over. 136 for 3.
This poppin' got your mouth dropping, super tongue shocking, feel the taste rockin'. Hella ice cold, taste so bold. Been a living, shiver, giving, winning when we love it. Pepsi, we love it. Bold living, always loving. Pepsi, Pepsi.
100% तहफ़्फ़ुज़ की ज़मानत के साथ फास्ट केबल्स नजर आए
More than 1 lakh Pakistanis selling their cars on OLX every month. OLX is the smarter choice.
मैं हूँ मुफ्ता मैन और मेरी सुपर पावर है मुफ्ते मारना
हफ्ता तो मैंने भी मार लिया
कैसे
मुझे भी तो बताओ
नेस्ले नेस्फ्रूटा के 2 खाली बैग्स किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुफ्ता पाया खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करदा डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए डेवू बैटरी
Got till out of sorts, I'm afraid. Very well caught by Virat Kohli. It slipped. Henry Nicholls fought like heck, but got a good one from Jadeja, bowled him through the gate. And now Kane Williamson. Been very impressed with the way that MS Dhoni has worked with Virat Kohli throughout this tournament. In no sense of him wanting to take over, even with his vast captaincy experience. Just occasionally, he has little words with Kohli. Kohli goes to him a lot. Kohli has his own stamp on this team. There's no sense of Dhoni trying to retain any of the responsibility or plaudit that he had in his previous life as captain. But he just alters positions, keeps his eye on things. Senior figure handling that role very well. Offers and then gets out of the way. This, of course, one of the most charismatic leaders and batsmen. Well, in the history of the game, you'd say, actually, not just in this tournament. This is another little rebuild. That's the difficult thing. Neesham wants to get himself in. There's too much at stake to go really hard now. Taylor Beckham still 27 from 54 balls, 2 fours in that innings, that's all. Very un-Ross Taylor-like. Jimmy Neesham just got out there, faced 5 balls for a couple.
It's the rotation of strike, a real issue for New Zealand today. 137 dot balls. Haven't been able to turn the strike over. Guptill obviously struggled at the start. Williamson and Taylor, their strike rates have been well down.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning was difficult. The bowling was good, and Guptill and Neesham Guptill and Nichols looked like men whose determination to preserve their wicket rather overwhelmed the need to sort of break away, and that's the problem with not being in form. Guptill probably thought, if I could bat 7 or 8 overs, I might find some form, but no, it's safe. Squirted away over that backward point area. Ross Taylor just hasn't got the old mojo. It's 140 for 3.
Oh, pasta, chaat yak chodiyan please. Khane ke baad dabbal green tea please.
Available in 8 flavors.
बच्चों, मुस्टैशियो ने मुझे भी ट्रैप कर लिया है और मुझे चाहिए तुम्हारी हेल्प। तो वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो। प्रिंस आउट।
Tropicana, goodness of best fruits, now in Pakistan.
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी?
Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
iBase International
100% तहफ़्फ़ुज़ की ज़मानत के साथ फास्ट केबल्स नजर आएगा।
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
Devugi threw it with any confidence. And there you go, on cue, an example.
Yeah, good bowling. You hear the grunt and the energy from Hardik Pandya, but he just rolls his fingers across it. Sticks in the surface and they have a little laugh.
I do believe in this tournament the bowlers have taken that skill to another level, the skill to bowl off cutters and leg cutters, dragging their fingers down either side of the ball. Off different lengths has really impressed and made it hard for batsmen. We've wondered why pitches have slowed up. Sometimes they have, other times it's simply the ability to make the ball slow up. It's almost like taking the air out of it.
I'm enjoying the fact that bowlers have had their part to play in this World Cup. It hasn't just been flat batting paradises. Had their opportunities, bowlers in this tournament. So batsmen at different times, we've still seen some high scores.
Well, a great relief at the fact that there was a secondary platform for the trading of tickets, and therefore fans flocked to Old Trafford. Indian fans had bought into the idea of Edgbaston in the semi-final against England, but when Australia went down to South Africa here the other day, so they had to switch. Switch they have. And, oh, he shouldn't call that. Oh, Rohit. Almost as if his feet were in cement. The further he went, the quicker the cement set.
Wasn't sure whether to dive or not here, Rohit Sharma. Thought he could just thrust out that hand. He got a good finger to it, but not good enough again, though, Mark. That off-pace delivery. Nisham, absolutely nowhere with that one. Deceived completely.
The thing about Pandya is he's banging the ball into the surface. So every time it loops up at you, it loops up at a different pace and height. And, oh, right. You're excused everything when you've made 500s in the tournament. I think that's the right decision by umpire Illingworth.
He's getting through it well here, Hardik Pandya. He's in pain, obviously. The follow-through is non-existent at the moment. It's all about shoulder and just getting everything into it that he can at the crease. Obviously had that, like an adductor problem. He's doing his job well.
Oh, good stop. Oh, will be. Yeah, I think Pandya's doing a remarkable job, actually. Courageous, smart. 145 for 3.
Tropicana, goodness of best fruits. Now in Pakistan.
देवू की 100% मेंटेनेंस फ्री बैटरी, ना देखभाल की जरूरत, ना ही कोई फिक्र।
Devu battery.
मैक्स फ्रेश सनसनाते कूलिंग क्रिस्टल्स के साथ ताजगी का धमाका।
मैं हूँ मुफ्ता मैन और मेरी सुपर पावर है मुफ्ते मारना।
मुफ्ता तो मैंने भी मार लिया।
कैसे?
मुझे भी तो बताओ।
नेस्ले नेस्फ्रूटा के 2 खाली बैग्स किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुफ्ता पाया।
जलजलों से हिफाजत के लिए मुगल सुप्रीम इस्तेमाल कीजिए। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
ऊपर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ और आईसीसी क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप इंग्लैंड में जाने का मौका पाओ।
Very tidy. 6 overs, 1 made, none for 17 so far. Jimmy Neesham is capable of great things out there. He's a different sort of character, very feisty, physically very strong. Perhaps best of all, he's a great believer that anything's possible. We saw something close to the best of him in the match against Pakistan. The easy swing of the bat. This was the match Pakistan won quite comfortably in the run chase. Haris Sohail played so well and prompted the view that if you qualify on equal points, shouldn't the one that goes through be the winner of the contest between the two of you? That's a debate for another day. Neesham has a job to do on India here.
Good scouting on this count from the Indian bowler, captain, backroom staff perhaps as well. Neesham's go-to is always that drag to the leg side, so even though Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is looking at back of the length and slower balls, he still wants his long on, out on the boundary, just in case Neesham gets a little bit on one. Always drags at leg side, so long off or mid-off was up inside the circle, and long on back.
So what we don't know is this pitch. We watch from a long way away, all of you watch from home, and what we can't be sure about is how this pitch is playing. The amount of frustration that we've seen from the batsmen suggests it's difficult. We're saying you don't want to overplay that for the dressing room because it's off-putting. Equally, it's an indication to us that perhaps a score of, say, 275, 280 is out of reach. So it may be that Ross Taylor is judging a score of 240 will be damn hard to chase. Now that's still 90 away, and there's only 11 overs after this.
I also don't quite understand how a brand new pitch can be so dry and take the turn that we've seen it today. And these slower balls, this is not... It's not what you would expect, I guess, from a brand new surface, so perhaps it's just been a little bit under-prepared and then been left to dry out. Or over-prepared might be a better statement.
Maybe left to dry. It was under the mat here, the game between Australia and South Africa the other day. Whatever Taylor wants to, so does Neesham. Neesham comes and makes it. Excellent running between the wickets. That kind of urgency, sense of purpose. Bring hope to the dressing room. It's 151 for 3.
सबके यूपीएस बैठ गए, इनका यूपीएस अभी तक चल रहा है।
यही तो फर्क है ट्रक वाली बैटरी और खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी में ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
All new Nescafe chilled latte. It all starts with a Nescafe.
ले आए एक्सप्रेस पावर, महंगे पाउडर के मुकाबले पूरे 100 रुपए कम और सफाई में कोई फर्क नहीं। तो फिर ज्यादा पैसे क्यों दें? एक्सप्रेस पावर महंगे पाउडर वाली धुलाई 100 रुपए की बचत के साथ।
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
iBase International.
Bumrah has 4 to bowl out of the 11 that remain. And what Kohli reckons is that these two, Taylor and Neesham, are a great threat. So he wants a couple from Bumrah here, see if he can get a wicket. At very worst, he can push them back and force them into error against other bowlers. He doesn't want to limit Bumrah to only being a Yorker bowler at the death.
He's looking to Jasprit Bumrah, and there's a reason why he is the best white ball exponent in the world. All of the tricks has Jasprit Bumrah. Just take a little look at this. Deliveries coming back in. You ask why. This is a slower ball again coming back in. You ask why Martin Guptill and Ross Taylor have to play these two deliveries in particular, because he creates that angle early and then has the ability to hold one up, to bowl that one that just straightens a little bit. What makes him so good. Another off-pace one there. Just those two that we saw Guptill get out to and Ross Taylor nick and almost carry through to MS Dhoni. This is the angle that he creates early, but then he holds this one up and you feel like you've got to play at it all the time. So all of the tricks in the book, the slower ball, the angle back in, and at the death, we talked about it, Nico, the Yorker, the bouncer that can knock your head off. There's a reason why he is #1 in the world, and that's exactly it. is brilliant.
Well, he's an interesting guy. Let's have a listen.
So I try to look at the wicket and try to assess it as soon as possible. Maybe some days the wicket has help in it, so you don't need to try too much. Try to assess quickly and maybe ask questions to the seniors that, okay, this is going on right now. What do I need to do to be successful?
Such an unusual approach. Such an effective end. Oh no, wasn't ever hitting that. But it was attacked by Kohli's strongest hand, his right hand. On the move, you back him to be more accurate with an attempted run out than he was on that occasion. He anticipates so well. That's the great thing about Kohli in the field. Another look at Bumrah getting this thing ready. It's quite unusual actually for a quick bowler to run in with two hands on the ball. It's happened before, but it's unusual. And it's also unusual to have so little momentum come the last 2 or 3 strides. Great thing is he gets his wrist in a good position. With that cock wrist and the very late release of the ball, he gets more hurry off the surface than most. In fact, probably anyone. That's why you see people so late on the ball. There are 2 crackerjack fast bowlers in world cricket at the moment. Masters of the art of the one-day game.
एक मैच देखने के लिए इतनी दूर
वर्ल्ड कप 7 दिन गुस्सा जल्दी आ जाता है बुढ़ा हो गया ना
बुढ़ा तू
बॉयज आपकी सेंचुरी पक्की है
ओह 6
ऊपर रिक्वेस्ट करो स्कोर बनाओ और इंग्लैंड जाओ
होमिज डीसी इन्वर्टर एसी वे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा होमिज कंट्रीब्यूट टू गुड लिविंग
वेबसाइट पर रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो प्रिंस आउट
जलजला से हिफाजत के लिए मुगल सुप्रीम इस्तेमाल कीजिए घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं घर महफूज होता है खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी के देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए डेवू बैटरी
And we're in the final power play. Another fielder can drop outside the circle. 5 fielders now outside that 30-yard ring. Unusually, everybody on the leg side is back. The only one back on the offside is out at deep point. Hardik Pandya went off with an injury. We think a groin injury, right side of the groin. He's come back and bowled well. He's nothing if not 100%. Tears in. Bowls an aggressive bouncer, masses of slower balls that he drags down into the surface.
Looking at Neesham's options again here. He's got to bowl back of the length. Mid-off, mid-on, up inside the circle. You'd imagine pace on and pace off, but everything short of a length. Rising up to Neesham, utilising the big square boundaries.
That's quick. See, my guess is we're looking at the match. I wouldn't be going to make a cup of tea now. This 10 overs, whether New Zealand can somehow crank it up and get to 240, 250, or whether India could hold them back, deny them so that it's a comfortable enough run chase, even if the pitch is as awkward as it seems to be, though it may look different if somebody like Rohit Sharma gets in, of course. This is the game. We're going to see everything here, from bounces to slower balls to yorkers to wickets to runs. The dramatic period.
Not even if I ask nicely, just white without sugar.
was sent for him. It's nearly lunchtime.
Yeah, 2 back-of-the-length deliveries. 1 quick, 135 Ks, 1 slow. Expect more of the same.
First time that Pandya's gone really full. In fact, he got the Yorker exactly right, and there is no hitting that ball. In fact, you'd take a single from it every time. He's a cricketer with infinite possibility. Every time you see him play the game, it's like he believes he's going to influence the moment. It maybe take a wicket, it maybe hit a boundary, it maybe make a great stop. Every ball is an opportunity for Hardik Pandya.
My talented family. Brother Krunal is a very fine cricketer as well.
That's 4. Well done. Just swung with the line of it. The frustration from Pandya, but you can't have him everywhere.
No, he is gesturing to Virat Kohli at that stage. But yeah, bowling to those bigger boundaries just dragged it a little bit more. Nisham setting up wide stance, ready for it, whether it's short, full, off pace, on pace. He's loading up, ready for it. Yeah, got to be the next for mine, Mark. Yeah, he has to be ready to go.
Now, who's underneath it? Should be caught. Oh, he's caught. Comfortable as you like. Dinesh Karthik has good hands. Never looked like he'd drop that ball. It's a good wicket. Jimmy Neesham is a game breaker.
Yeah, usually got the gloves on. It's gone full. Neesham looking for that leg side. It's got a leading edge. It's gone incredibly high. Dinesh Karthik. Hands take. Sure everything's okay with that front foot. Everything fine, no problem at all.
Well, a wicket for Hardik Pandya, the man who believes anything is possible. Jimmy Neesham goes for 12, it's 162 for 4.
हाँ बस पहुंच रहा हूँ.
चाय नहीं पियोगे?
अभी मीटिंग है, लेट हो जाऊंगा.
कपाल दानेदार, बेहतरीन रंग, खुशबू और जायका.
तुम्हारी मीटिंग?
देखिए, ये मीटिंग भी तो जरूरी है. तो फिर चलती रहे. तुम, मैं और एक कप चाय. कपाल दानेदार.
एक मैच देखने के लिए इतनी दूर.
वर्ल्ड कप साथ देखो. गुस्सा जल्दी आ जाता है. बुढ़ा हो गया ना.
बुढ़ा तू.
आपकी सेंचुरी पक्की है. ऊपर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ और इंग्लैंड जाओ.
Save with Bank Alpha किफायत सेविंग्स अकाउंट. 11% तक का बेहतरीन रिटर्न ऑन सेविंग्स. हर माह मुनाफा. डेबिट कार्ड, चेकबुक, अल्फा और ऑबिट्स. इसके अलावा ढेरों फायदे. बैंक अल्फा किफायत सेविंग्स अकाउंट.
बैंक अल्फा, द वे फॉरवर्ड.
ले आए एक्सप्रेस पावर. महंगे पाउडर के मुकाबले पूरे 100 रुपए कम. और सफाई में तो फिर ज्यादा पैसे क्यों दें? एक्सप्रेस पावर महंगे पाउडर वाली धुलाई 100 रुपए की बचत के साथ.
Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना नेचुरल लुकिंग कलर सिर्फ 5 मिनट में.
iBase International.
खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवूड डीप साइकिल बैटरी ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए.
Hasn't played a ball yet. Maybe just drifting down the leg. more example of a New Zealand batsman trying to take the bowling on and not succeeding. I just wonder if there's something in the track. Is the ball just sitting in there?
Well, he's looking to hit that a good deal squarer. Jimmy Neesham, you can see with the angle of the bat, but somewhat of a very powerful leading edge, the front half of the bat instead. Carried that far and that's straight down the ground. And I think just another indication of a batsman not able to read the pitch, the pace of the pitch.
I think they don't mind these singles just now. New Zealand on 8-0 with 233. Is that what they're setting themselves up for, Jens Smith? Saying it's a semi-final, bat first, runs on the board, let's try and defend 230.
I reckon the target has changed so many times in the course of the 41.2 overs, Harsha. They would have said, right, we won the toss and batted, it looks a good pitch, 300, minimum 300. Then they've dropped it down to 270. Then you feel they've dropped it down to, say, 250. And now they're looking at a situation where they get as many as they can. It's as simple as that. I'm not sure there's a definite number involved. It's just a case of see what we can get, see if we can get lucky for the last 7 or 8 overs. Cash in.
Well, there's 4 India flags in there. So New Zealand want to make a game of this. The 5th will have to be theirs. India will be saying, look, we've kept them down now to 166. Let's get them down to under 210 here if we can. And for that, they'll have to pick up a couple of wickets now. Right, Grandom got shot at the field at long off.
He's got a licence, Colin de Grandhomme, and he plays well when he's been given a licence just to throw everything at it, and he will, and he's the kind of player that could, on this pitch, have a bit of luck. He only has to have it for half an hour, and he'll have 50. And New Zealand will get more than that 210 you're talking about.
It's got the licence. The question is, when do you activate that licence? There's 8 overs too many. Will they be saying, what if he gets a top edge first ball? Does he wait? With 5 overs left and then really go for it? All these modern T20 batsmen, 5 overs left, they think it's a lot of time. It's rain forecast at about 12:31. It's been a bit late coming. Hopefully it'll stay away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Tell you what, the ball is drifted a little bit. $170 for 4 with 8 left.
Save with बैंक अल्फला किफायत सेविंग्स अकाउंट 11% तक का बेहतरीन रिटर्न ऑन सेविंग्स हर माह मुनाफा डेबिट कार्ड चेकबुक अल्फा और ऑबिट्स इसके अलावा ढेरों फायदे बैंक अल्फला किफायत सेविंग्स अकाउंट
बैंक अल्फला द वे फॉरवर्ड। खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
Williamson Taylor 65 for 105. And they're trying to put their foot on the pedal 28 of 6 overs. I know it was 1 for 46 for Hardik Pandya. Last over. It's a man, a third man. We'll get there. No, that's not a good sign. That's the ground staff getting ready.
Yeah, they're getting busy, which is not good these days with rain radars, etc. So accurate about the timing of when rain is about to hit us.
They're not looking angry, they're not looking tempestuous, these clouds. They're just there. They've been there all day. Just a single of the first ball. Where's the big hit coming? They've got to have one in this over. Every time they've tried, though, India have knocked a wicket over. Right. Ishatara Guha. What have you got?
Harsha, just an observation of how India built pressure through spin, particularly to Kane Williamson. Chehal getting it in good areas on around that off stump. He was looking to defend, putting a price on his wicket early on and being very watchful. Knows he has to play the big innings. Just after the drinks break, he looks to attack Jadeja a bit more, gets him up and over extra cover, but he's putting his left foot down the track and going in to out. Chehal gets him in the end with a wider delivery. And having to force it off good length deliveries. It's a chip to backward point and a massive wicket from an Indian point of view. Williamson goes for 67.
Thank you, Isha. Just 11 boundaries. No sixes, you can understand. It's a big ground. You don't want to take a chance, but 11 boundaries in 42 overs. Sometimes you can tell yourself, I'll knock the ball around for a single. When the boundary ball comes, I'll take advantage. All right, what have we got? Third man's dropping back fine. Point comes inside. He's allowed 2 bounces. I don't think an over has lapsed, so he hasn't used those. He likes the short ball. He's bowled it really well, Pandya. And that's why I think he's got that third man really fine for the uppercut. Still holding around the 4 and over mark. It's been marooned this innings. They need a gust of wind. Third man had moved fine, and that's a good shot. It's a really good shot from Colin de Grandin because he's used the field.
Poor piece of bowling too to the field. It's not the plan to give that kind of width with that field set. It was an average delivery from Pandya. Got those players inside the circle, but are not there for that. As soon as he got it square enough, he was always going to pick up 4.
You're right, I think the reason third man was that fine was he wanted to be closer to the body and higher. So he's got to start. 10 of 7. It's not a huge start, but a beginning. Third man comes back inside the circle. Point drops back again for Pandya's last ball. And he'll get another boundary. No, he won't. There's a fielder there, so they'll come back for 2. 9 of Pandya's last over. 1 for 55 from 10. I think India will take that. 179 for 4.
Toho Nehari, Italian, ya badi feast. Khane ke baad, Dabal green tea, please. Available in 8 flavors.
सबके यूपीएस बैठ गए, इनका यूपीएस अभी तक चल रहा है।
यही तो फर्क है ट्रक वाली बैटरी और खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करदा डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी में ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मुकाबला इंडिया से, इंडिया का मुकाबला इंग्लैंड से, पर इस ऑफर का कोई मुकाबला नहीं। नेस्ले नेस्टूडा के 2 खाली पैक किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुफ्त पाएं।
अमरेली स्टील्स के सरिये की लचक इमारत को देती है जलजले सहने की सलाहियत।
Golden Pearl Max Light Men Face Wash. अब चमको मेरे यार।
अमरेली स्टील
progressing. Right, he's connected that and it's gone for 6. As flat as 6 as you will see. 50 comes up for Ross Taylor, 73 deliveries, but that shot, quite the most striking of all he's played.
Well, it's been hardest 50, I'm sure, of his career in this situation. He'll be mentally tired because he's had to work so hard through the variations, the conditions, pressure of a semi-final. But in the end, it's been a really good one, and it shows his character and just how hard he tries his 50th one-day international 50. That's saying plenty, isn't it? His 50th one-day international 50 to go with 20 hundreds. Push for 2 here, they'll go real quick. The most alarming thing, Harsha, if you look at the statistics of this innings, is 148 dot balls so far. Now that is just under 25 overs of batting where you have unproductive deliveries. 25 overs, say, of unproductive deliveries so far. It's staggering.
Well, it might be late, but they've put their foot down here. It's very clear. This is the over. They are going to go. They've picked Chahal's last. then he's got it covered, but he's timed it really well. So Charles last over. Ross Taylor said, right, the time has come.
Yes, he has. So if, what are we looking at? 12 off 3 deliveries here. So New Zealand can now start looking at 230, 240. In the slot, half volley length.
He's actually placed it beautifully. Remember, he's hitting against the turn. He's got to the pitch. He's placed it beautifully. That was Charles' response. Yeah, I thought so, but a little too wide. He normally does this really well. Tosses the ball up just around the edge of those tram lines, saying, hit me through the offside. That's a good ball. Not giving him space to get underneath the ball to slog over mid-wicket. Dream 11 fantasy game. It's hard to catch up with somebody who's got 600 runs in.
I was going to say, how can you score 500s and not be top?
Because there's points for wickets as well.
I don't care. 500s and you're not top.
You need to speak to a few nerds who play the game. There's points for wickets. He's taken 11 wickets and scored 600 runs. So the points add up. You're contributing 2 ways. Now that's wide of the field, and this is a big over for New Zealand. By some distance, their biggest. They've taken on Charles at the end. 18 of it. 6 to play. It's 197 for 4.
Tropicana, goodness of best fruits. Now in Pakistan.
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
DC inverter AC. दे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा Homage. Attribute to good living.
All new Nescafe chilled latte. It all starts with a Nescafe.
Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में.
Ibase International. Homage. DC inverter AC. दे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा Homage. Attribute to good living.
जलजला से हिफाजत के लिए मुगल सुप्रीम इस्तेमाल कीजिए। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
250 is the game for me on this pitch. 250, you've given yourself a starter's chance. India, in my book, would still be favourites at 250 on form. And with the individuals they possess, the class they've got.
Right, Bhuvneshwar for his last 3. This is the reason he's in the side. Now, umpire's given it out. This could be a big moment in the game.
Well, he's got to review up his sleeve, Ross Taylor. They're going to have a chat about it. Did he get himself outside the line? He's going to take a punt. He's going to take a punt.
Gavin, we have a review for LBW. This is the TV umpire to you. The original decision is out. Can I check the front foot first, please? Thank you. Front foot coming up now, and that's a fair delivery. Go to front on, please. From that, so have you got any? We'll go to ultra edge first, yeah. Okay, it's going under the bat as it goes past there. It's past the bat. Flat line, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy that there's no bat. I'm satisfied there's no bat. So if we can go to ball tracking, please. Ball tracking coming up now, Richard. Impact is outside off stump. I'll be coming back to you on field to change your decision.
Just wonder.
Well, that was funny, Harsha, because Ross Taylor had started to go, when he saw the second replay of the ball making contact, he started to go. He was walking off. And then when we put the last one up, which is the ball tracking, it showed that they hit him outside the line. He turned around and started to walk back again. He'd gone. He'd given it up.
So on what basis did he get the review? Because clearly he knows it's not hit. So the basis for the review was just take a chance.
Oh, I think worthy of a chance too. He's in. It's hard to get started.
There's a fielder there who cut it off for two. It's good work by Juvendra Chahal. Quick round the boundary there. It's a big, big boundary there. That is one of the reasons why there's only been 14 fours into 6. 2 fours into 6 came in the previous over. Now change. Chahal's brought back inside the circle. I thought he did all right, actually. India bowled magnificently. At 200 has eventually come up, but it's taken a long time. Just 5.5 overs left, and just under 4.5 an over. Now for Colin de Grando, what have we got? Third man's come in. Long off his drop back. He's a big hitter. It's tailor-made for him now. 5 overs left. He's 16 of 9. But Bhuvneshwar got up his sleeve. No, he's got the edge. Here's somebody who can hit the ball miles out of the stadium, and he's out playing a delicate nudge to the keeper.
Not for the first time in the World Cup either. We've seen this from Colin de Grando. For the risk involved, it's just not a sensible shot. Slow delivery, so it was well done in that respect. Took the pace out of it, bowled it into the pitch surface, it sat up. But such a hard option for so little reward. And MS Dhoni in his 350th game will not get a simpler catch. 16, 200 for 5.
हाँ बस पहुंच रहा हूँ.
चाय नहीं पियोगे?
हमें मीटिंग है, लेट हो जाऊंगा.
कपाल दानेदार दे बेहतरीन रंग, खुशबू और जायका.
तुम्हारी मीटिंग?
लेकिन ये मीटिंग भी तो जरूरी है. तो फिर चलती रहे. तुम, मैं और एक कप चाय. कपाल दानेदार.
सबके यूपीएस बैठ गए. इनका यूपीएस अभी तक चल रहा है.
यही तो फर्क है ट्रक वाली बैटरी और खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करना डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी में. ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए. डेवू बैटरी.
Homage DC inverter AC. वे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा. Homage. Attribute to good living.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मुकाबला इंडिया से, इंडिया का मुकाबला इंग्लैंड से, पर इस ऑफर का कोई मुकाबला नहीं. नेस्ले नेस्टूडा के 2 खाली पैक्स किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुफ्त पाएं.
And everything he could have. Bhuvneshwar.
I will say this about the pitch. I was here the other day and I watched Australia South Africa play on 2 pitches across. Another example of taking the pace out of it. And I spoke to Faf du Plessis during the interval in that game, and he said that was the style of bowling that would probably best suit it, which going into the pitch, bowling cutters into the pitch. But I didn't believe when I saw this morning it would play like this. It's foxed me, and it might yet still play a big factor in the game. 202 for 5.
Tropicana, goodness of best fruits, now in Pakistan.
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से. ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी.
बच्चों, वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो. प्रिंस आउट.
Homage Homage DC Inverter AC. दे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा. Homage. Contribute to good living.
Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में.
iBase International.
खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी के देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए. डेवू बैटरी.
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत.
Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में.
iBase International.
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत.
ऊबर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ और आईसीसी क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप इंग्लैंड में जाने का मौका पाओ.
मोबाइल सुप्रीम में सवाल कीजिए.
Got to run off every ball and then search for the boundary. I think India have done magnificently to keep New Zealand down to this much.
I think it's been superb. They've read the conditions and they've played the conditions outstandingly well with 5 bowlers bare basically. And it looked at one stage as if they were in trouble with Punja. He's come back bravely, 1 for 55. They looked at a really shaky point at about the 15-18 over mark. Questions were being asked about the balance of the side. They've got through that.
Even Chahal, their tenor was 1 for 63. Looked good for more actually. There were times when you thought he's going to finish with 2 or 3. Now Latham, the single available if he wants it. A single he knows is not going to hurt the opposition. Can't get that either.
Well, there's only one player inside the circle on the onside and he hit it straight to him. And I'm not blaming Tom Latham, he's just gone to the crease, but I think that's also been quite symbolic. New Zealand have been unable to hit gaps and that's why they've had so many unproductive deliveries, unproductive overs. Economy rates, amazing.
When he bowls a Yorker, it's still the best ball for a fast bowler. Times can change, fashions can change. Batting style of the Yorker is still important. Right, he's got hold of it and finds the fielder. It's that kind of day. You play the shot and you find the fielder. There's acres there on the onside. He's gone 1 bounce to the fielder.
It is. It's amazing just how often this has happened. I mean, he's middled this, Tom Latham. He's played it beautifully. 1 bounce straight to the fielder. 2 yards either side with the pace that he hit it, the timing, he gets 4.
If he'd hit it any better, he might have found the fielder on the full. Some runs have come in the last few overs, courtesy that 18-run over from Chahal. Australia 61 of 82. And Bumrah's only 1 for 20 in his 8th. There's a fielder there too. New Zealand might just think this is... they'll get an overthrow. India have been so miserly in the field, they get another overthrow. This is like saving the pennies and then tossing away the pounds.
There are hands on hips all around the joint. What is going on here? Who's doing the backing up? Crazy stuff. New Zealand have pinched 2 here. Average work from MS Dhoni. He should have done better there. Kohli says, in anger almost, I'm going to have a crack at the bowlers here to sharpen things up. No one backing up there either.
This is how it used to be when we were kids playing. There's always an overthrow around the corner. So they've done so well and conceded 3. So well as in the over, not of that delivery. Well, he's been held back, Latham. If anything of these first 4 balls, he's hit it better than most.
He has. Found some form against England in the last game. He'd really been battling up until that point. New Zealand did bring another specialist wicketkeeper batsman, and Tom Blundell, and the word was a lot of people saying, why aren't they playing him? Well, they waited with Tom Latham because he's a senior player on the side and he's played so well in the past.
Right now, Latham's charge for the first, but Taylor will be happy with that. 7 came of the over, 2 or 9 for 5.
सबके यूपीएस बैठ गए, इनका यूपीएस अभी तक चल रहा है।
यही तो फर्क है ट्रक वाली बैटरी और खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करना डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी में। ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
मोबाइल सुप्रीम इस्तेमाल कीजिए। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
बच्चों, मुस्टैशियो ने मुझे भी ट्रैप कर लिया है और मुझे चाहिए तुम्हारी हेल्प। तो वेबसाइट पे रजिस्टर करो और प्रिंस एडवेंचर आर्मी का हिस्सा बनो। प्रिंस आउट।
कोलगेट मैक्स फ्रेश सनसनाते कूलिंग क्रिस्टल्स के साथ ताजगी का धमाका।
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
देवू की 100% मेंटेनेंस फ्री बैटरी, ना देखभाल की जरूरत, ना ही कोई फिक्र।
डेवू बैटरी।
अमरेली स्टील्स का सरिया इमारत को देता है मजबूत खड़े रहने की ताकत।
ऊबर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ। आईसीसी क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड
Just 28 in his 8. They'll take a second run, and that is going to displease the captain enormously. This on the edge of the square, a couple of balls have misbehaved, but still that was a second run gifted.
It's not good from Chahal this time. The ball was hit firmly enough for him to approach it better than he did. He dropped it, and New Zealand hadn't even turned at that point. Taylor says, we'll have another one, thank you. So they've gifted New Zealand 4 or 5 runs. Who would know?
Well, Chahal has just moved from the boundary to inside the circle, and now he's been banished to 45. And banished not with a gentle wave from Kohli, but with an admonition. Now the umpire's having a word again.
They want to go off, I think. Umpires are starting to talk about the rain, talking about what it might do to the pitch surface. They're going to say go. They're going to say go. So New Zealand's innings at this stage will not be completed for quite some time, you would imagine.
Who's happier going off?
Well, India are happy because of the score and the situation. New Zealand get a chance to recharge a few batteries, I suppose, in Ross Taylor's case anyway.
I think India in a groove here. India wanted to keep on going, get these overs in quickly. 46.1, it's 2-1-1 for 5. So 23 deliveries left for New Zealand to make an impact. India go back, review the situation and say, you know what, we had to bowl first, we wanted to bat, we had to bowl first, we've done a mighty good job. It's just starting to come a little more strongly, the rain, so I think it's a good call by the umpires.
Yeah, I think they work very closely with the ground staff these days. The ground staff, I would have got the message out to them to say, listen, this rain is just seconds away, basically. That's how accurate they are. So rather than wait for it to rain heavily and get out there, let's get the hard work done before it really kicks in, and less damage will be done. Because they've got a lot of work to do here. They've got to cover the pitch itself. That's the first thing. The bowlers run-ups. And then they've got to look at the dry strips either side of the pitch we're using, because they're the ones that if any quantity of water gets on them, they're the ones that become an issue. You start to look at muddy situations, you look at footing, you start to think about delays in play because it's not safe around the cover square leg areas for fielders. So they've got to work pretty quickly in this situation.
Just to get you updated on what happens if it continues raining, there is a reserve day. There's 2 hours you can make up today.
Please, no.
I'm just laying it down for all the fans out there. You can make up to 2 hours. 20 overs is enough to have a game. All efforts will be made to conclude the game today, but only if it cannot be concluded today, even with the addition of 2 hours of extra time if they carried over tomorrow. The same game will continue. I don't think we'll go that far.
I think Ravi's pretty happy. Ravi Shastri, a few pats on the back there for the players as they came up the stairs, and that's the reason why New Zealand won the toss and decided to bat first. And really from the outset, it wasn't the pitch initially, it was the fantastic bowling of Kumar and of course Bumrah in combination. They were so accurate. New Zealand didn't get a run in the first 2 overs, and that sort of set the tone. Martin Guptill got 1 from 14. It was a real battle for him. Nichols worked really hard to get 28 from 51. Williamson and Taylor
who are very fine players, have struggled. Everyone seems to have struggled to come to terms with the pace of the pitch. But having said that, you've got to use it well as a bowling unit, and they've done that.
Yes, they tried to take a little bit of Jadeja early on. He didn't. He just shut the tap after that. 1 for 34 was excellent. But the platform, as Smithy said, was laid by Bhuvneshwar and Bumrah. They were excellent with the new ball. Pandya came and bowled some good overs, and Chahal only got a bit of tap at the end. He looked good for more than that. So India look back at these numbers and said very happy with these bowling figures.
Biggest ball. We've missed him. Martin Guptill got a bit of a working over early on, and Bumrah got one just to straighten it a little bit off the surface, and Kohli took a fantastic catch at slip. It was really humming. Came off the bat very quickly, adjusted the hands into a reverse cup situation, and it nearly burst through. That's how much pace was on the ball.
And Nisu took the score to 69 before Nichols. And that wicket did two things. One is, of course, it got India the breakthrough, but it suddenly put the brakes on Williamson and Taylor. Bit unfortunate, I guess it nicked a little bit of the pad on its way, but that's the way it goes. Jadeja then bowled magnificently after that.
Yes, he did a good job. He got confident for that. Just after the second drinks break, New Zealand decided to put the foot down, and Williamson started to play inside out. In other words, he started to try and give himself room to hit over the offside more than he normally would. And in the end, he just had to fetch that from a little bit too wide. It bounced a wee bit. High on the bat, Jadeja said, thank you very much, and Chahal had got him. Broke that partnership.
Then Jimmy Neesham. It was around this time that every time New Zealand tried to play a big shot, there was a miss hit or a wicket. Dinesh Karthik was the catcher there. His leading edge had travelled a very long way.
It did. He was looking to hit it through square leg, and it just carried on. Karthik very safe under there. Colin de Grandhomme trying an option which is okay on a fast pitch, where you know the bowler is going to be bowling fast pretty much every ball. But slower balls were the preferred option, and it was a tough choice.
Yeah, the alligator's jaws closed on that. Dhoni's gloves did. And now we've got the covers on, and it's looking a bit gloomy. It's not pouring, but it's enough to have the covers on and keep the fielders off the ground, off the field of play. A couple of scores of 67, if you'd have noticed down that list. The first of those, Williamson.
Well, he's, for the umpteenth time, he's been a hero package built around Kane Williamson, because he's been that. He's been New Zealand's best player by a mile, consistently on a daily basis, because he can weigh up conditions, and he can exploit areas of the ground because he plays so late. It was a really fine innings, but he wanted more, which meant Ross Taylor had to find something special, and he's found a little bit of momentum, but boy, it's been hard work, Harsha. He has dug deep to get this many runs, 67 from 85. At a strike rate of 78.8, actually doesn't look so bad now.
Well, between them, they've had almost 50% of all of New Zealand's runs in this World Cup, and that was the story today as well, wasn't it? 67 and 67 out of a total of 211. That's 134 runs there. And Taylor's still in. He's got 23 deliveries to close off this innings.
Yeah, they need to get another 50 runs if they can, get it up to 260. That would be great if they could come out and just smack it. I don't think it's going to be that easy, to be fair. The most amazing stat for me is the number of dot balls. Over 25 overs now out of the 46 they've faced have been unproductive deliveries. And that when they look back on it, if it doesn't turn out well at the end of the day, they'll look back on that and say, well, you can't afford to have that. You just can't afford to have half your innings unproductive.
Just remind you that you don't lose overs till 2 hours has been lost. You're not worried about losing any play at this stage. The lights have been on all the time. So we just wait for this rain to go by and deposit its contents elsewhere. Right, so that's where we are then. It's been hard-fought cricket for New Zealand. It's been wonderful bowling in the conditions for India. But everyone's got to pause now, wait for the rain to go away. India come back to finish their remaining overs and then set about deciding how they're going to chase this target down. At the moment, India ahead. We had them ahead in each of the 10-over phases so far. But for New Zealand to get their flag on, they'll need a very, very powerful finish.
When they do come back, and if it's rain affected, Harsha, this will suit India. The Duckworth-Lewis calculations will suit India with all the wickets in hand. So New Zealand really do need to get back out there and bat their full 50 and get some fine weather going, because it will suit India. The chase will be less, the wickets in hand will be more, and generally speaking, that's the punt you take when you bat first on a day where it might rain.
Well, that's what they'll be thinking about. I think they're thinking more about, let's just come and get a few runs on the board and bowl India. So as the umbrellas come out, then we'll all take a little break. We'll hope that the rain goes away quickly. This is where we are at the moment. New Zealand won the toss, 211 for 5, 46.1 overs gone. Taylor's still in. Latham's looking good in the couple of balls that he's played. And that's it. We'll on our way till the rain stops.
हाँ बस पहुंच रहा हूँ।
चाय नहीं पियोगे?
हमें मीटिंग है, लेट हो जाऊंगा।
कपाल दानेदार, बेहतरीन रंग, खुशबू और जायका।
तुम्हारी मीटिंग?
लेकिन ये मीटिंग भी तो जरूरी है। तो फिर चलती रहे, तुम, मैं और एक कप चाय। कपाल दानेदार।
नो, वर्ल्ड कप का फाइनल और हमारी शादी एक दिन नहीं हो सकती, प्लीज।
ओके, I'll call पापा।
क्या पार्टनरशिप है?
6 रन।
ऊपर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ और इंग्लैंड जाओ।
Biz poppin', got your mouth dropping, super tongue shocking, feel the taste rocking. Hella ice cold, taste so bold. Been a living, shiver, giving, winning when we loving. Pepsi, we loving. Yeah, bold living, always loving. Pepsi, Pepsi.
सबके यूपीएस बैठ गए, इनका यूपीएस अभी तक चल रहा है।
यही तो फर्क है ट्रक वाली बैटरी और खास तौर पर यूपीएस के लिए तैयार करता डेवू डीप साइकिल बैटरी में। ये देर तक चार्ज रहे और लंबा साथ निभाए। डेवू बैटरी।
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
घबराना नहीं है, इस बजट में हम बात कर रहे हैं साल की सबसे बड़ी स्कीम। नेस्ले नट्स फ्रूटा के 2 खाली बैग्स किसी भी मैकडॉनल्ड्स पर लाएं और स्पाइसी चिकन बर्गर डील पर पूरे 200 का मुनाफा।
जल्जलों से हिफाजत के लिए घर छोटा बड़ा घर में होता है।
Homage, inverted. दे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा। Homage, attribute to living. Just for men, for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में। iBase International.
ऊपर रिक्वेस्ट करो, स्कोर बनाओ और आईसीसी क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप इंग्लैंड में जाने का मौका पाओ।
तुम गिरना अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए नए सर्विस टायर्स बनते हैं यूरोपियन स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक जर्मन टेक्नोलॉजी से। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसे।
हो बिरयानी, बर्गर या चाइनीज, खाने के बाद डब्बाल ग्रीन टी प्लीज। Available in 8 flavors.
All new Nescafe chilled latte. It all starts with a Nescafe.
Homage, DC inverter AC. दे अब आपको कुछ ज्यादा। Homage, attribute to good living.
Straight Ride, presented by Uber.
Rain has intervened with just under 4 overs left of New Zealand's innings, and India will be fairly happy with where they are right now. They started well with the ball, stifled the New Zealand batsmen, including Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. And the final few balls could be very crucial in this innings. Welcome back to Uber Straight Drive, refreshed by
Pepsi. New Zealand 211 for 5, so they'll be desperate to utilise the final 23 balls as and when they happen. We're hopeful this will only be a passing shower. The forecast is not too bad from Manchester today. Danny Morrison watching with me. Not the pitch that we were expecting, Danny, a bit slower perhaps, but New Zealand still well behind the game?
It would seem so, wouldn't it, on that surface? And I think about that much vaunted India batting. I think really India will be feeling a lot better about things, even though there is a lot of pace off the ball and cutters and then spin, and then of course depending on what happens with the weather, of course you can't control that. But Satner obviously key. Does Williamson have to get a bit of a go?
Yeah.
We saw it going, didn't we, off the straight a lot?
Yeah, it has been turning, that's for sure. Right, if you missed any of the action, don't worry, you can catch up right now with our Express highlights.
एक्सप्रेस हाइलाइट्स प्रेजेंटेड बाय महंगे पाउडर वाली धुलाई 100 रुपए की बचत के साथ फिर ज्यादा पैसे क्यों दें
India started brilliantly with the new ball, and Martin Guptill's struggles continued. A 14-ball one for him. After that, Nichols and Williamson got together, battled hard to get through a very tough first 10-15 overs or so. That was until Nichols was out for 28. Bowled Jadeja through the gates. He bowled very well during the innings. Williamson then got together with Taylor. Their partnership was worth 65. But from 17 overs, so time will tell how important that was. Kane Williamson went for 67 off 95, deceived by Chahal, soon followed by Jimmy Neesham out for 12. Karthik bowled Pandya. That was 162 for 4 at that point. Ross Taylor, he's still going somehow. He's hit 1-6, but been really struggling to middle the ball in truth. Colin de Grandin at the other end, out for 16. He was the last man out. So, at the minute, Taylor's still there, but it's looking like they're going to need a few more from the next few deliveries. And a lot of that, I suppose, Danny, is down to the start that India made with the new ball. That was incredible. I think it was not until the end of the third over that the first run was scored.
Yeah, and I love the credibility of those two bowlers, because I was going to give a couple of those commentators a real hard serve. I was going to give them a piece of my mind, was that you're allowed to be bowling well. Guys are allowed to bowl that well, and they're that good at the start. And I think we've seen that a lot with some of the new ball bowlers. Getting it right has been difficult in some of these conditions we've seen in England with this World Cup. So it was a study in some beautiful bowling, a bit of swing from Bhuvi, and then again Bumrah with his unique action, that bounce and carry, and of course a real nervy start from the New Zealand openers. That's understandable too, given what they've been doing.
Well, both Bumrah and Bhuvneshwar gave Martin Guptill a torrid time at the start of the innings, frequently hitting the seam, moving it around. Big LBW shout, first ball of the game, review used up there by India, but this was the first over. I mean, talk about hitting his straps, Danny, and then finally getting him out. That was just superb bowling.
And you've got about spinners bowling together in pairs, and also batsmen either doing that, but certainly new ball bowlers, it's a given. When one's fizzing, often helps the other guy at the other end.
I mean, we thought it might be fairly flat pitch, but we did see a bit of seam movement there early on, a bit of swing.
Just enough, isn't it? And sometimes when a pitch is too dry, you hit that new ball seam and it gets to bounce. You're dealing with some really quality bowling. And these guys aren't. Boomer's #1 in the world in white ball cricket, and for a good reason. And then you've got BK, I think he'd be frustrated with how he bowled it hitting against Sri Lanka. So he even was a bit of a point to prove, not only to everyone else, but to himself too. So,